got this Shield Autocare Skylight to fit, which is it calls it on box of 500 by 500, but the actual hull you need to cut is only 400 by 400. But there's no instructions with it, so I've had to Google it, go on to Shield Autocare's webpage and find out how they recommend fitting it, and they say to make a frame. That's not exactly what I'm good at, but what I'm thinking of doing is go right into these bits. So cut these pieces out here, cut that out. So I'm going to do that all 4 sides and just make a really simple join. Evo stick it at these points and screw it together at these points as well. So having taken a second look at Shield Autocare's installation instructions for this Skylight, I'm convinced that someone at Shield Autocare has got the wrong end of the stick with how this is supposed to be installed. It's made in China. I believe it's probably designed in China, and somebody's misinterpreted, I believe, how it's supposed to be installed. They're saying to use the bottom bit, not this bit, this is the top, use the bottom bit as a template, draw around it, and then add 5mm to the left and front, which is a bit strange when you can just draw a 400mm square. And then after that, it gets a bit complicated with drilling holes for screws through the roof of the van. When, in my opinion, it don't fit with screws through the van roof at all. How you're supposed to fit it? When I've done first part of my frame now, you've got these little fasteners here that go in here, screw down into the hole underneath, and that's basically how it fastens to the roof. In my opinion, it sandwiches the metal of the roof between this and this, so metal goes in between, and it's just held by the tightness of these screws around edges. So somebody, I believe, at Shield Autocare has got it wrong, but anyway, this is the way I'm fitting it, and I'm convinced they've got it wrong. But what you do have to do is, because that only goes down to there, that is thicker than the thickness of the metal roof, so the wood needs to be thicker. So apart from this, I'm going to cut a big square 6mm piece of plywood and attach it to this when this frame's all finished. That's the way I'm going to do it. Nearly finished second piece. Just filing these bits out, which is a bit slow. I've actually got a tool that I do it quite quick, but it's not very nice weather and it's a power tool, so let's carry on with this. So I've got 2 pieces ready. 2 pieces cut to length, they're much easier to shape. So hopefully, weather permitting, I'll get them done tomorrow. So we're already cut this frame bit. These are a bit narrow, but all the strength is going to be in these pieces. This is just to thicken it out, that's all, and to stop flex when it's open and closed, to stop the roof steel from flexing so much. It is pretty tight now. Quite happy with that. Just leave it to set and I'll actually screw this back piece onto this. So I had replanned my Skylight for this position. I'm not keen on the way the frame is going to fit. This ridge bit here and this ridge bit here, it leaves a gap. And it's going to leave a gap either side here as well, so it's not being supported in much of an area. So what I'm going to do, I'll take some insulation off here. This will be mostly RC equation, this piece. I'm going to take it as far back to this sort of point as I can along here. That'll be 400mm square down to here. That's as far back as I can have it, I think. Otherwise I can cause myself potential problems. I've cut the pieces of rubber. This one's cut it into strips basically. The end of the inner bit comes here, so it's basically there. That's where it's going to be. And then these two bits up here. So these two bits up here, it's one strip, but I've got two big pieces of rubber for it, one there and this one for this end. Should sort of tight nicely. So it's got to be drilled from the inside so that you can see the perimeter of the thing from the outside, because I'm cutting it from on the top of the roof, but I've got to be able to see where the perimeter is. So daylight, and that shows how much these roofs metal flexes. That's what I'm a little bit concerned about. So I've got it. Use this around edges. Next step is to put a little bit in and then seal it. So I've drawn the borderline around edges where the outside edge goes. To always put my sealer. Also I'm just getting my pieces of rubber in place now. I missed a piece here, I'm going to have to make another one. So I cut some more rubber, put it in place, stuck it all in, sealant on top, stuck it all in with the sealant, same stuff. This stuff, by the way, is Sikaflex 522. And now it's time to drop that in, which won't take a second. So that's that popped in. I'm going to fasten it inside and then seal it properly around the outside. Around the edges a bit more carefully. Not good to do that one handed. Squeezing down a bit. Just get your hand on top of the top lip, thumb under here, just squeeze it together, and then you can put your clips in and the screw. If that'll stay, it will. The two lengths of screw in the fitting kit, I'm having problems with short ones, although they're long enough to go in holes, they're not holding properly, so the long ones are holding, so it looks like you're supposed to put the long ones in. So for my roof, these screws are actually, the long screws are actually a little bit too long, so I'm having to cut them down with my Dremel, as you can see, by about quarter inch, bit more than that perhaps. That's all fastened in now. No screws through the roof at all. The roof is sandwiched between the wood and the skylight. It's nice and firm. And what surprised me actually is it's taken a lot of flex out of the roof. It was flexing quite badly before I put the last couple of screws in. But that should be gotten rid of completely once I get the inner ceiling in, hopefully. There should be no flex whatsoever, which is good. Because I've got it probably in the worst possible position on the roof for flex. It is really bad for that spot. So that last bit, just sealing out edges. Try to do it one-handed, not good. That's all done up here. That'll do me. So it's in, the inner cover's on, only temporarily, it's going to hang a little bit lower than that. The ceiling beams will come up a bit lower than this, so it'll hang a little bit lower than that, but anyway. Is it easy to fit? It's not bad, it's not difficult, certainly not difficult to fit, and it's made easier by the fact that you don't have to drill holes accurately through the roof, you just have to put a square hole in the roof, that's all. So as long as you follow pretty much what I've done and not follow the company's website instructions, you'll fit it okay. You'll need to make that wooden frame at least 1 1/4 inch thick overall, even if you don't do it as fussily as I've done. As long as you do it that thick, you'll not have a problem with the fasteners. They'll be the correct height for the wood and the thickness of the steel. If it's over 1 1/4 inch thick but less than 1 1/2 inch thick, then you'll need to shorten the screws or buy some more screws. Also, I've just found putting this in, the inner cover, screwed it in. The supplied screws, they're very short, to be honest, so you probably need to put different screws in no matter what it depends what you screw it to be honest. I mean, I'll fasten it to wooden frame temporarily, but you could fasten it to your ceiling beams if it's wood that you put in, so in that case it'd be fine. But anyway, would I recommend it? Yeah, it's nice. For the price it's pretty good. Just don't follow Shield Autocare's instructions, do something a bit closer to mine and you'll not have a problem.